a woman living in Australia, and she's from a Pakistani background, and as well as being from a migrant background, she is also a mother, and she was breastfeeding a baby. And she was noticing during the lockdown that there was an intense pain that was getting worse and worse in her breast. And when she goes to the emergency department, they were really trying to speak to her, like, what's happening? We need, to diagnose you. And she made it very clear from the beginning that I will not let a male doctor touch me, even for physical examination, even to determine what's the diagnosis. And they were like, okay, but we really, like, now talking about cross-cultural communication, and what they would assume is the common way of working in a very high-pressure, busy department, like an emergency department. So I will tell you more about the story, but up to this point, you can say already we have communication challenges. First of all, environmental, like we said, very high pressure, very fast-paced environment. And then there's the lingual, so English is her second language. Like conversational, she's very comfortable, she's very confident, but we're talking here about the medical space. Another thing would be medical, she is in great pain, and she's the main provider in the family, so finances, they will be on pause until she feels better, as well in an emotional level, and that goes hand in hand with the cultural values of this lady. So emotionally, she will not, and culturally, she will not be exposed in front of a male doctor. And I'm quoting here, she said, if I was to do that, I would have to live with this guilt for the rest of my life. So we can see that this is like really huge. It's a bigger picture here for her. And in terms of systematic, in this story, and what happened there is that on the first and the second and the third visit to the hospital, and when she already established, I don't want to be touched by a male doctor, they told her, we only have one female doctor available and 4 male doctors. So they could not continue and resume this kind of communication with her, because on a systematic level, this is what's available and she will not see them. And 3 times, okay, fine, basic pain management. The nurse would try to handle it every time there was a different nurse, and nothing was happening. And we can, like, you can tell, like, breastfeeding, that means feeding a baby as well, not only huge pain. So it was accumulating toll of distress for this person. And she was sent home every time. And what happened in the last visit, and the horror moment happened, is that a female nurse, and she was a bicultural worker, by the way, so she told him, listen, we still don't have a female breast specialist, but tell me, how can I make this more comfortable for you? We really need to do a procedure now. So that's when the lady and the patient started to express, because she was asked this question in a safe space, in a place where she can communicate, and she felt like she was heard and seen. And she felt, I don't want to be fully exposed in front of a male doctor. I'm happy for the doctor to operate only on the affected area. And can you, as a female nurse, be present with me in the room? So they were like, yes, 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 and yes. And this is how they solved. And it took this one nurse to phrase a question in a right way on the 4th visit for the problem to be solved. So we